team in blue and white relying on their bearded South American to set up a goal. Of course, I'm talking about Blackburn Rovers and Ben Brereton Diaz. However, it wasn't enough for them as they ended up losing to Preston North End yesterday.
What? How is that your intro?
Well, I thought I'd give a bit of a tease, thinking, oh, he's talking about Lionel Messi. No, the Championship is, of course, back, but we can talk about that later.
You know my rule that the Championship doesn't get talked about until March.
But it's back.
I know it's back, but now given the circumstances, I care about club football now.
Exactly.
But that was not what I was expecting.
Club football all the way.
The benefit of the listeners, he's told me, I've got a good intro now. Just wait. That's what he comes out with.
It was brilliant. As soon as I saw him assist the goal, I was like, thank you. That is my intro sorted.
He's Chilean.
Yeah. Blackburn still playing blue and white last time I checked.
At least this lot didn't need a penalty and a very, very amazing goalkeeper to help them out.
Yes. But we can get on to Argentina themselves a little bit later because I feel like we have to
get the depressing stuff out of the way.
Yes, let's talk on Saturday's games first. And we'll talk about the game that happened most recent in terms of time-wise, and that is, of course, France beating England 2-1 to advance to the semi-finals. Now, for as much slack as I've given England in the past and Gareth Southgate, I've got to say, I think England did well, and credit to themselves, but for me, I think it was always, they hadn't come up against a top-class opposition yet, and France were that opposition for me.
I mean, I'd also say the same towards France. I'd argue that wasn't their best game either, but maybe that was actually one of our better ones.
Yeah,
it wasn't
100%.
our worst one. Like anyone for me that I think is going full on hard at Southgate for this one, maybe just needs to just think of the bigger perspective really with this one, because the USA performance was way worse than what I watched last night.
Oh, 100%.
Didn't stop me being annoyed. But yeah, I think still questionable decisions in there. I look to the most Gareth Southgate substitute ever in. It was Henderson and Saka went off, and Mount and Sterling came on. Like his two favourites were the first ones that he brought on.
Yeah, and the fact is they didn't happen until the 79th minute.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also at that point was going, I don't know what you change here, because it's actually going okay. And I worry you put someone else on, that's when it starts going downhill.
A bit, but at the same time, like, you still need
I'm also thinking, don't you dare bring Mason Mount on. I'll happily leave it as it is with no substitutes if it means Mason Mount does not get on that pitch.
Yeah. But I just wanted a bit of fresher legs just a bit earlier. I know it was
we know what the options are. We know what the options are in that situation. It ain't Mason Mount and Raheem Sterling. It's Marcus Rashford, who should have come on way earlier than he did. And also Jack Grealish. How are you going to leave him to the 96th minute? Admitted that was a forced one as well. So he probably wasn't going to come on.
Yeah. So it's just that's my only real downfall of England yesterday was the substitutions that happened too late for my liking.
Yeah, and then everything else was down to cliche, the two words that I've heard the most in the last 24 hours: fine margins.
Honest to God, there's not a more annoying phrase in football than fine margins.
Maybe they were wrong. On another day, Bellingham probably blocks Tchouaméni's shot, and marking Olivier Giroud.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, there's not a lot you can do. We can talk about all these.
Yeah. The way this goes, I think we can get 10 minutes at each game, so we might as well just go through it. The Tchouaméni goal is a very good one.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much that can be complained about that. You can maybe try and debate, should Pickford have got it, but he's seen it late. So he's always at a disadvantage at that point.
And his height also doesn't help. Because I think maybe a slightly taller keeper could have got a fingertip to it.
And there's nothing that saves it.
Mm.
That's what I was expecting. Like 6 or 8, he's got that.
Nah. But yeah, I think the fact of how late he sees it just takes it out of the question as to like him having any real blame onto it. Where I think if England closed down Germany better and stopped the shot going in, then
He's given a lot of space, isn't he, in that
yeah,
situation?
100%. Like you seem to give him the freedom of like that area of the pitch, and you're like, lads, you're playing in a World Cup quarterfinal. You shouldn't be giving any man more than an inch to breathe.
Yeah,
in these situations.
True, I think in that situation. And before we get to the other goals, foul on Bukayo Saka. They've been given. You can't say some of them were not given during that game as well. In similar situations.
Yeah.
Can we just go straight on in on this ref now? Because what a joke.
It's not just him. I think the referees in these knockout stages have just been really bad.
I'm going to defend someone, and I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I actually think Michael Oliver did very well in the game that he did.
Was that the Brazil game?
I want to say it was, yeah.
I can't remember which one he did now.
I'll get to that point at the end when we through all this. This ref was a joke. I didn't get some of the decision making in this.
No, it was just really confusing.
Yeah, you just feel like there's one situation. It was a different foul on Saka in the second half. He got bundled over by 2 of them, and then it was like 5 seconds later, the simplest of attempted headers to the ball that supposedly is a foul. It was like, what? What's a foul and what isn't to this guy?
Yeah, because like you say, it's that Saka one in the second half should have been given, and then you're like, how far does a tackle have to go to be given as a foul? But then it seems like nothing is getting given, so it just leaves you questioning like, why are they now seemingly changing their ways of officiating the games?
Yeah, I think not the whole knockout stages, but especially in these quarterfinals, they've really come to the roots of who the worser officials are in this situation. And if they're anywhere near another game in this tournament, then something's not right.
100%.
But more on that other guy, like I guess he's the
Yes.
one I really want to go in on. But yeah, the Harry Kane penalty. If this was the Premier League, I'd be saying, "Oh, you diving prick." But he hasn't dived in this situation. He's clearly been kicked from behind.
Yeah, 100%.
It was so clear. I don't get it. Was it just because I was seeing it coming out afterwards that they didn't think it was in the area?
Yeah, I think that was some of the talk was they thought it will happen just outside the box, but
the ball's in the area. I don't get how it works. The ball's in the area. For me, Kane's if he's not in the area, he's like right on the edge. Like we're talking on the line.
Yeah. Absolute borderline.
It was ridiculous. But at least we did get any other penalty shout go our way because that was when the equaliser came. Like there was no way the ref couldn't give this one.
Oh, 100%. You had to give it.
Yeah, clear touch on the ankle of Saka, and Harry Kane does what Harry Kane, well, we believed does best.
Yes, I mean the first penalty good, but
admittedly, I did think he was going to miss because I couldn't look past like, oh, Hugo Lloris, here he comes.
Yeah, I mean, a man he trains in day out with at club level.
But yeah, he didn't. He was nowhere near. He was nowhere near. You'd think Hugo. Any time I've seen a Harry Kane penalty, he's gone like straight left into that corner, and it's always in there. And yeah, here's Hugo Lloris diving the opposite direction.
Yeah, which is absolutely baffling.
But he didn't need to for the second one. But before that, the Olivier Giroud goal happened.
Yeah, now becomes the all-time leading
I think he did it. I believe he did it last game.
Was it last game?
I believe he did do it last game, yeah. But we're going to say it ain't going to be as much longer. Like Mbappe will eventually take it
Oh,
off
yeah,
him.
within the next couple of years, Mbappe will do it. Maybe not by the 2026 World Cup, but by 2030, you would imagine.
I think by the
He should have
Euros,
this.
potentially.
Wait, 18
Now
months'
and
time, do you
then.
think? Jesus.
Yeah, depends how many games happen, you never know.
True.
A couple of games against San Marino. Maybe he's got a chance.
Definitely. But yeah, I think we've got to talk about that second Kane penalty now, though, because what was that?
I don't know. Can we go for Harry Maguire's defending instead? Should he have done better, Giroud? Like, no one was on him. You can't leave him open in that position.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be, but
It was a great cross. I can't deny that. Like, the goal was
it
a
was
very
an
good one.
absolute fantastic balling from, was it Griezmann?
Oh, I don't know. But even if it wasn't Griezmann had a very good game. That's probably. I feel like this tournament he's come alive again.
Yeah,
Isn't he? Like we're getting 2018 Antoine Griezmann again.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. It was Griezmann because he assisted both goals.
The whole game was around let's stop Mbappe, and in doing that, he left a lot of space for Griezmann to do his thing.
Yeah,
Tchouaméni had a bit more space. Giroud wasn't being marked as closely as he needed to be.
Yeah. So.
But admittedly, they did the job. I don't think Mbappe was at his best in this game, even if he had the odd moment here and there.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like France's standout player in this game, but he still did well enough.
Yeah. Anytime he had the ball, he still looked a threat. And he still did manage to completely leave Kyle Walker in the dust at one moment.
Mm.
Yeah. But no, the penalty.
Jesus, that was bad from Harry Kane.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have bet on that happening, but secretly I'd tell you that I'd left the room because I just had this feeling it weren't going in. I'm not just saying that, I genuinely did. I didn't want to watch it. There's nothing more England than that moment.
Nothing more Spursy than that moment.
God's sake. Like, they just prove now Harry Kane has been the best penalty taker we've had in ages. Even he's cursed. Like, we can't solve this. It's just England and penalties. In the most crucial moment as well. Like, it's typical.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. You think they should be able to do better by now?
I don't even put that. He went for the power option and it ended up being too much. I'd rather he miss it like that than make himself look like an absolute idiot going at 2 miles an hour, trying to confuse the keeper, as we've seen so many times in this tournament, and every time they've missed.
Yes. Which we can get on to in a couple minutes' time with some of the other games. But yeah, it's a shame that he missed it, but at the same time, where do you think England go then from here?
It's a weird one, but I'm again no Southgate defender, but I think he's bought himself the Euros. Which is the end of his contract, we're led to believe. He talked about in a post-match interview they'll do like a review. They ain't getting rid of him.
No.
And I personally wouldn't at this stage, just purely the fact that who's the replacement?
I mean, did they look at Tommy Tuchel?
That's not an England way. I know we need a better coach. Someone who would do it and knows what it's going to happen in that situation. The tournament specialists. But there's no one there. And I feel like they're going to wait for an English guy who they believe they can tempt. And I look at, I don't want to say Eddie Howe, but, you know, it can't convince me that Newcastle would be prepared to stick with Eddie Howe for years to come.
He's the type of man you would want managing, but at the same time, you're right. I don't see it happening any time in the near 3-4 years between now and the next Euros. At least it won't happen.
Graham Potter was there for the taking, but then he went to Chelsea and is probably about to ruin his career.
Yeah, I don't see Sean Dyche being
I
considered for it.
couldn't see it now.
And then,
And I wouldn't want it
like,
either. I don't think it'd be a step backwards.
yeah, and then you look also, like you say, Thomas Tuchel's not really going to be in consideration because it's not how they go. So it's going to be an interesting one.
His name always seems to get mentioned, but I don't know. I feel like he's holding out for a club.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of becoming a bit like the Harry Redknapp one. It's the always rumoured with it, but never gets it.
Like Harry Redknapp was the biggest missed opportunity at the time. It should have always been him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had enough of it. I feel like the squad is still young enough that a lot of them will be in their prime come the Euros and then the next World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I think likely changes, not necessarily between now and the Euros, but probably the next World Cup. We'll probably see maybe Harry Kane, Henderson.
I don't know about Kane, personally.
4 years' time, he'll be, what, 33?
Yeah, but we don't know how Harry Kane's going to be in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'd like to think we'll have more options up front in 4 years. You got the likes of Tammy Abraham, hopefully will find his form again. I looked at Ivan Toney as well, if he ever has a career.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I'd like to think Ollie Watkins. Can he? I didn't even. It paused, and I didn't see anything that happened on your end.
Well, when you said Ivan Toney, I said I wouldn't bet on it. That was the only thing I said.
I completely missed it. Didn't see it. Club bias, I'd say Ollie Watkins hopefully can improve as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's going to be another young striker to come up, isn't there?
Maybe actually play Rashford as a striker.
Yeah, like that, I wouldn't be against.
To work.
Yeah.
Because then you even have the option of bringing Jadon Sancho back into the fold if he's performance.
He's got to
improves.
Like we said this when we talked about him last time. He's got to improve massively if he wants to get anywhere near right now.
Well, I 100% agree with you, but it is still an option for 4 years.
It's just come 2 years. Something else has just come to mind that I would like to mention. How are all the James Maddison fans feeling after all this?
Oh yeah.
All that. Like I said this at the time. Why are we all having a go at this? Like, do you honestly believe he's playing a single minute of this tournament?
Nope. I knew it was him and Conor Gallagher were the two we all knew, and Conor Cody as well. We just knew.
I actually feel like there were quite a few that didn't even feature a minute.
Obviously, Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale didn't, did they?
I know. God, we didn't follow the Brazil route, did we?
Callum Wilson, did he play?
No, he came on the first game, then he scored. Oh, he assisted Grealish.
Yeah. Eric Dyer?
No, I don't think. No, he did. He did. I think he did come on there.
Yes, he did. I can't remember.
I want to say it was that first game as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a good portion of that rest of that squad that didn't get involved at all.
The fringe players were definitely that.
Yeah. But yeah, all hope is not lost for a potential good English future.
Like we always say it's coming home, but at no point do we say when.
Yes. That's the only thing that kind of annoys me is the whole, maybe because we see it a lot because we live in England and maybe other countries are like that themselves, but it's the whole mantra of it's coming home. It just annoys me in that sense.
Yeah, but you're like everyone else. Like you don't understand that it's a piss. Well, actually, no, you do understand, but to European nations, they don't understand it's a piss take.
But at the same time, I feel like some people genuinely do believe it though.
Oh, some will.
Like, not as a piss take.
Yeah. Well, the those that believe it have definitely got it tattooed on their arm and on the back of their leg with like 3 lions coming down their chest as well.
Mm.
They're the only people
that would also have
this.
like England World Cup winners 2022, and they've had it added a new one. Like they've had to get it crossed out every time.
Sorry, that's just reminded me to do something.
What?
No, I haven't got it in my top. Shut up.
I mean, let's not even talk about predictions because
I know what I am now, and this is perfect timing to go on to the next game because I am today I feel Moroccan.
Oh, I'm so.
This is the
happy.
best thing ever. Like,
Oh, it is.
like at the start of this talk, did I not say an African team gets to the quarterfinals?
Mm.
I didn't have them as a semi-finalist though. No point. And this is amazing. This is exactly what we needed in football.
Yeah. Admittedly, I probably had Senegal going the further out of the African teams to make it.
Yeah,
to the
but I
last
don't think I had
16.
Morocco getting out of the group. I apologise,
No, I don't
Morocco.
think
I was not familiar with your game.
That's brilliant from you.
That's my
Well,
favourite at the moment. I love it.
It is absolutely cracking. As I mean, I feel like it's like a year or two old though when Shaq actually initially said that.
Yeah, but most memes are. Like, it takes a while for them to properly catch on.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, Morocco knocking out Portugal, ending Cristiano Ronaldo's international career.
And in typical Ronaldo fashion, he obviously consoled all his teammates. Went up to the fans, gave him a clap. You know, last tournament probably.
Handed his
Be
shirt to a fan.
be very respectful. That's the guy he is.
Yes.
Oh no,
He would
he
go
went
down.
straight down the tunnel and started crying. Like,
Yeah.
me. But that summed it up. Like, I'm done with the bloke. I've got no respect. Even if I was slowly gaining it like a year ago, it just gone.
Yeah.
The man thought about himself in that moment.
Yeah, these past 4 to 6 weeks all have been about me, rather than everyone else.
Piers Morgan on speed dial.
Mm.
Although they can add Moroccans to his list of hated people next to Meghan Markle.
But how many people have Piers Morgan on their hated list? Let's be honest.
Everyone.
Exactly. And we're not going to lose the night sleep over it. Yes. Yusuf N. Nesri, the man that scores the goal.
This man has done nothing all tournament, and then he rises like a salmon. Just was this on the keeper though? Should he have done better?
Yeah. It was a bit of both. But at the same time, I think Diogo Costa should I say his name, not Diogo. He's had one of them tournaments where he hasn't looked as good as like he was getting hyped up in the Champions League about.
I think he's looked okay, but he falls for that thing that most keepers fall for. Is like, you look like you've got a flaky moment in you.
Yeah. And it was just a matter of when was it going to happen, rather
it nearly did happen.
It going to happen?
I feel like there's been 2 occasions where it's almost happened.
But Bono, on the other hand,
I love him. What a guy! I love this keeper.
What a legend.
Honestly, if this is true that Villa are linked, get him in. Him and Emi Martinez as my goalkeepers.
Absolutely brilliant. That
the dream.
I mean, what's there not to love about that? If you're a Villa fan,
it is the sweetest thing.
I'm just so annoyed with that. I'm actually pissed off that you did that.
Hey, look, there aren't many that you can come up with. Honestly, Morocco, they haven't gone through this far on a whim. They have looked fantastic.
Yeah. I mean,
they've conceded 1 goal and it was an own goal.
Yeah, and the team that they've knocked out and faced,
they conquered Liberia.
Yeah.
They knocked out Spain and Portugal.
And Belgium as well.
Like, they've deserved this.
Yeah, they looked absolutely fantastic and sturdy at the back. They are looking like a really hard team to beat.
Yeah, Portugal couldn't break them down, so they just resorted to putting crosses in.
It just didn't work.
And if there's any standout Morocco players that we can talk about with this, we'd mentioned Amrabat. Again, fantastic. This man's engine is incredible.
Yeah.
Like I'd already seen like but it was like a transfer first. I think it was from Sky. It's like which clubs could sign Sophie and Amrabat, and it was just a Photoshop of him in a Real Madrid shirt, a Man United shirt, a Liverpool shirt. Like I don't know if it's going to be that high, guys.
Yeah, let's turn the tails down a bit much of the hype of where he could potentially go.
Like Sophie and Buffal again, great.
Mm.
And there was the guy who was trending on Twitter, Azedin how do you say Unahi?
Yes,
The 22-year-old who plays for Angers, who are bottom of League One. He looks great. He's 22. Like he's that good at that age. He's one to watch.
Definitely.
A few clubs will be looking at him, I feel.
Mm-hmm. If not in January, then 100% in the summer, because he does look a real prodigy.
I feel some clubs are going to be all over them in January. Depends on where they are, of course, with all some of their clubs. But you can guarantee that Hakimi will get a few looks in at other clubs as well. If PSG maybe be happy to listen to a decent bid.
I don't know.
Hakimi's been unbelievable.
Yeah. He has been like really consistently strong at the back.
Which we always felt he was. Like we've always been told a very good player. I don't get to see a lot of him. And seeing it in this tournament, he's class.
Oh, 100%. He's phenomenal. Like, I really do actually enjoy watching Achraf Hakimi.
I enjoy watching Morocco. I know they sit back, but they do like nice. They just counter. Like you can't. It's this awkward position the team is in against them, where you need a goal against them, so you got to throw over forward because they're just sitting back. But you can't throw too many forward because the counter attacking is so good.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Some of the best counter attacking football I've seen at this World Cup.
Although I need to, I can't remember the name of the striker at the end. Like, imagine if Portugal had equalised, and the guy had missed that chance.
Oh, that would have just been.
He tried to chip in. In that moment, I'm thinking, you idiot! Why did you do that?
Yeah, just please, of all things, just don't do that.
Put it in the net. Just put it in the net. That's what came to mind. I was just, you just.
Yes.
Or just round him. Just go.
Just do something simpler than that.
Around the goal. Oh, I just remembered. I forgot to say the bit. Remember in the England game, Mason Mount had that shot.
Yes.
Because I was so. That was the one moment I was like, "Why have you brought him on?" I physically shouted it to the tail like, "You twat!" When he out at the stadium, I was like, "You dick! Like, why did you do that?"
Yeah, I mean that just sums up his season. Though.
I knew he was going to shoot as well. You're just so clear he was going to do it, and then I said, "You dick."
Oh God.
I don't know where it's going now.
Right, let's get on talking about Saturday's games. Friday's games, sorry, not Saturday.
So before we do that, I feel because we're not likely to do another one before the semis. France Morocco should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some may say it.
I've done predicting games at this tournament, but that's just you can't say that.
I mean, have you seen how many African players could have that played for France that could have represented?
Morocco's looking. Morocco aren't part of that group there. In France.
Yeah, but there's still quite a lot of African-based French players. But yeah, Hakimi versus Mbappe.
Like, if there's someone who will know how to deal with that. I don't think anyone's actually mentioned that yet. So,
no.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And Morocco, again, just have to play the exact same game they did against Portugal.
Just continue to do what they're doing all tournament.
Yeah. You don't stop. You do it. And France's defence is flaky. Just run at them. Run at that defence. Upamecano is desperate to concede a penalty.
I think he will do. I genuinely think in this semi-final he will concede a penalty.
Run at them. If you Ziyech, if you Buffon, we run at them.
Yeah, 100%.
Right now, do you want to talk about your depressing moment from Friday night?
Yes. Netherlands versus Argentina. Good game.
Game of the tournament. I don't care.
100%.
This was amazing. This was a fantastic Friday night viewing experience.
Yes. Apart from the referee who decided to give every man cat
This
dog
guy. This
kitchen
guy.
sink.
Every
And
game I've seen him do, he's the worst.
Yeah. Just what? There's no need to give out fucking 600 yellow cards, man. Relax.
I mean, there probably was. Like, it was a very physical game, admittedly.
I mean, it was a proper feisty game, but
Do you know what it reminded me
of?
of? It was slowly drifting towards the 2010 World Cup final. Howard Webb. I was getting them feelings again.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like, you've got no control of this.
Yeah, he definitely didn't.
You've got no control, and you're trying your hardest to act like Luigi Collina.
No, it just didn't work.
He tried. Have you ever noticed this guy? He always tries to look like the angry ref.
Yeah.
Like, just to intimidate players. It don't work. I don't take you seriously.
No.
I laugh
100%.
at you, if anything.
It gets more and more embarrassing the more you see it.
Like, anytime I see this guy ref, I know we're in for a game. Admittedly.
Definitely are. Messi's assist though for Molina's
This man's cooking. This man is cooking in this tournament.
I have to applaud that because that was
Why
brilliant,
go?
man.
This man it's the GOAT. Ronaldo doesn't touch him.
Exactly.
Ronaldo doesn't have this level of impact on a game now. Like,
no. In the last 2 years,
I think we're at a point where you can't even compare them now. That's how far we are.
Yeah. Even if Messi doesn't win the World Cup this year, I genuinely think it's now disrespectful to compare the two of them for what Messi's done this year alone.
We're at a point where there's no point comparing them as individuals. They're two very different players.
Yeah. One brings a positive impact to the squad. One has a negative impact.
Yeah. Right now, in where they are in their careers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's always going to be Messi. Like, even when Ronaldo was at Man United, I loved him, and he was one of the best players that we've had at that time. But I just marvel in Messi's magic.
Yeah, and as a Manchester United fan, I'd still be expected of you to still like Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, I mean, this interview, like you did,
really did. Like, he's one of the best players you've ever. He's one of the best players that have ever played for your club, even bar the interview. The fact that they're on that. But Messi, there's nothing to dislike about the guy.
No, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, that assist, the first goal is disgusting.
It's so beautiful.
He's not looking. He's not looking.
I don't know how he does it. I really don't.
He in his mind knows that Molina has made that run somewhere.
Yeah, he's like 3-4 steps ahead of himself in terms of
he's
how
playing
he plays.
5D chess.
Yeah, but the thing is, everyone was marveling in it on Friday evening, and we're marveling in it now. But at the same time, it should kind of be expected because it's the norm for Messi.
It is, but it doesn't stop it being incredible.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, that's why we're still marveling in it, because it's fucking incredible, and we shouldn't be used to that. But at the same time, it's like, we are talking about the greatest player to ever have played the game.
Absolutely, bar none. No question. At least in our era, he's the best player of our generation.
Yeah, 100%.
And he can take penalties. Who knew?
I mean, I did. I knew he could take penalties.
Hey, we've all seen him miss a few, so it was nice to see him actually change that. And yeah, the calm penalties. The one guy who did these slow calm penalties, and it actually worked out.
That's because it's always worked for him. The way he's never changed his style of penalty over the years.
I don't know. I feel like I used to see him just hit them normally, and then that's the ones he misses.
But when
he misses when he tries to be like everybody else. That's what Messi.
Exactly. Continue to be the alien of yourself.
Oh,
Continue to shine. But then, after that, it turned into the Valverde show.
Like, this guy, where's he been?
He literally turned into fucking prime Messi in this when he came on.
This
Jesus
guy
Christ.
was the epitome of a Tony Pulis striker.
Mm.
Just lump it up and he'll head it.
And it just, yeah, literally brute one football. Valverde is somewhere up towards the penalty box, in the penalty box, causing mayhem.
Yeah, fantastic. That first goal was a very good free kick, near post header, bang, good goal.
Mhm.
Maybe questions of Emi Martinez, but that's for somebody else to have the debate on, not me.
Yes. And then that one in stoppage time, he's done it before at Wolfsburg. Beautiful.
Like, that
Absolutely
whole, I've
beautiful.
never openly been more shocked during a football match at that free kick routine in that moment.
Mm.
My God, the balls to do it.
Well, quarterfinals of a World Cup.
You really
In
did.
the
That goes
ninth-
wrong. They are embarrassments in that moment. They are memed.
Yes and no.
You just pass it at the wall. You pass it into the wall, you're a meme.
Mm. Well, it worked, and you've got to give them credit.
Yeah, it completely fooled Argentina as well.
Yeah, they
that was the
100%
genius of
weren't
it.
expecting that. No.
Louis Van Gaal, tactical genius.
Oh, we said it.
But best manager Man United had since Fergie.
Shut up. Let's get on to the penalties then.
Well,
because-
no, see, no, we're not doing this. We're not ignoring the aggro that took place thanks to was it what's his name? Paredes. I've got his first name, but Paredes, like, what a guy.
I just know him as Leo Paredes. I don't know what his name is. It
Leo Paredes.
Yeah.
Clear foul. Absolutely clear foul on Ake. And then
Yep.
just boots the ball towards the Dutch bench. 10 Dutch players come walking up towards him, giving him the big, and he just stands there, arms wide out. Like, come at me, lads. I don't give a shit.
And then Virgil van Dijk.
Just launched him. Oh. How was he not sent off? How was there not a red card in any of this?
I have no idea. That was genuinely fucking brilliant.
Oh,
The fact that
fantastic.
Denzel Dumfries somehow got sent off in that game as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
That had to have been after.
It was during the penalty malarkeys.
Was he given? Because I saw there was a yellow card during the penalties. Was he given a second yellow then?
He was given a penalty at the start. A yellow.
He was
at the start.
no.
Wait,
You're talking about he was supposed to take a penalty and he got because he got sent off. He couldn't do it.
I don't know whether because he got sent off, but because there was a bit of a melee after the penalties.
There was literally any time the whistle was blown, there was a melee. I couldn't keep track of it.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it was after one of the penalties or at the very end, like when you saw some of the Argentina players in front of the Dutch players. Not, I think because there was a bit of a fight there, and I don't know whether he got sent off.
It happened too many times to just like.
But at the same time, why are you sending a player off once the game's all done and dusted for?
Yeah, I don't know. But this guy just wanted to give cards out. He just
yeah.
There you go. It was even good. The coaches, the cards.
Yeah.
I think I heard it afterwards. Argentina alone had 17 players booked, players and coaches.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
did you think it was the one they booked one of the Argentinian coaches? I didn't know who it was at the time, and then I saw the name graphic. Where the hell's he been?
I have no idea.
This man is supposed to be 44 as well, and he looked old.
Yeah, he really did.
My
look
God.
ancient.
Oh. Anyway, time to actually look at the penalties. My shithouse goalkeeper.
Before you get onto great Emi Martinez, why are defenders taking the first fucking penalty? Stop it, for the love of God, and all that's fucking holy. Stop defenders taking the first penalties.
in that moment that Van Dijk is the captain and he wanted
I
to
don't care.
set
No,
the lead by example.
no,
It was
no.
like,
Fuck off.
hear me out. Wasn't a bad penalty, was it? He's put it in the right area. Martinez
Not the worst
is just
penalty.
class. He's just class.
Just fuck off with defenders taking penalties at the start. Pisses me off.
He looks at Northern Premier League clubs' captains and he says, "Yeah, fuck you. I'm going to save your penalties."
Yeah, I mean, great performance from him. Emi Martinez. Worst penalty of the lot, though, Enzo Fernandez.
Oh yeah.
Like, he didn't even hit the target. It's fucking awful.
No one will remember it now. But
Yeah.
it was bad.
Also, was that Lautaro Martinez's first goal of the tournament?
Yes.
Let's not look at one of my predictions then.
Oh no.
Yes.
It's the one I think it is, isn't it?
Yes.
See, I know we're not supposed to talk about this to the final, but I think we've both fucked up in this situation.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh no.
I think only.
That actually makes me feel a bit better now, knowing that you're also an idiot.
Well, I think one of my predictions can come right, and that's the eventual winners of it. Everything else is now out of question.
I'm saying nothing.
That's all I will say. Is that my eventual winners are still in the tournament.
As are mine. I will say. Oh no, that narrows it down. Yes, I've gone for Morocco.
Go on, let's talk about the other game then, because we also had shite penalties in that one.
Go
Croatia versus Brazil.
Yeah, this maybe less entertaining game. Croatia are just there to frustrate people, and not in the Morocco way either.
Yeah, they're just, for fuck's sake, Croatia. Just, can we do something now?
Isn't it every single knockout game in the last 2 World Cups they've gone to extra time?
It wouldn't surprise me with that.
The one time it didn't was the final.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. Every knockout game they've played has gone to.
Like this team has no
urgency or
90 minutes.
desire to win in 90 minutes. Yeah, it's just meh.
Like they're to grind you, and you have to get through them, which
Yeah,
Brazil did, but then completely effed it up.
Yeah, Neymar scoring in the 105th,
Great goal.
106th minute. Great goal.
Great
Fantastic goal for him.
Like,
and then they just turn off in the last couple of minutes. Bruno Petkovic scoring, and you're like, fuck's sake, Brazil, you've only got one fucking job.
had you seen that Petkovic hadn't scored for 2 years as well for Croatia?
Oh, I thought you said he hadn't scored in 2 years in general. I was like, fucking.
At the time I heard it, I was like, no fucking way has he not scored for 2 years. But
what the fuck's he doing?
They added right at the end, like Croatia. It's 2 years he's not scored for Croatia. I think he's a regular in the team as well, so that made it a bit more surprising.
Fair enough. But right, you got the goal when it was most crucial, so
exactly. You get a little deflection on it, but they all count.
Exactly. Penalties.
The extra time. What was that? Neither of them wanted to score. That was what was funny.
They wanted to go to penalties.
Yeah, like I know there's this thing, right? You've got to try and find some sort of resolution to make extra time more interesting, but I don't know how you do it.
Well, with them two, it just wasn't going to happen.
Like it's either you don't bother at all. I feel like that's just slowly where it drifts.
That golden goal.
There's that, but even anytime someone talks about golden goal in terms of the pundits, they all say, no, even that didn't work, really.
But it means that teams are more likely to go for it, though, I feel.
Like, can they take a leaf out of the NFL's book? In overtime, you get, let's say for football, 20 minutes, you score, you win. You don't score in 20 minutes, then we'll do the penalties.
Which is, it's kind of golden goal, but in a more cramped time frame.
Or 15 minutes, you make it 15 minutes then. Then it's just end-to-end chaos, hopefully.
Yeah. We'll just do what the Sidemen do. Fucking crossbar challenge. First to hit the crossbar wins.
And the Sidemen way is rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Captain Rock, Paper, Scissors in the middle. Come on.
Yeah. They get all this. Oh, who's going to take the first penalty? No, rock, paper, scissors. You win it, you go through to the semis. Best of 3. Can't complain.
Yeah. Simple. There to the penalties.
Why are we doing stupid run-ups for?
Brazilian way. It's their culture.
Well, I can fucking samba all the way back to Brazil with them bloody penalties and them fucking pigeon dances. You stupid idiots.
Although they have to admire the quick ability of someone to make up the Luka Modric feeding them the seeds. Video if you've seen it. Like, that's quick work, man. The genius that's come up with that.
Absolute magnificent work that is.
Amazing. But Croatia's penalties as well were just great.
Yep, 100%. Can't complain about them penalties from Croatia. So
no. I did feel when Luka Modric stepped up, I was worried for him, but yeah, his was the best of the lot.
I had no.
It felt like in the moment I was like, "Oh no, it's written."
No, this man is aging like a beautiful fine red wine. He's just getting better and better.
Yeah. This guy almost deserves a major trophy in a way.
I mean, individually, he has won the 2018 Ballon d'Or, was it?
Yes, because he was part of the tournament, the last World Cup.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of them, this would be the perfect capping off to a fantastic, fantastic career.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Croatia to win it, personally.
I mean, now the Netherlands are out, I have no qualms over who wins it.
You mean you also feel Moroccan?
I feel Moroccan, I feel Croatian, I feel French,
no, you don't feel French. Don't feel French.
No, I'm not a baguette eating. So
it's going to take me a while to want a croissant again.
What about a pan au chocolat?
I don't eat pan au chocolat. Oh, no.
Uncultured swine. But yeah, congratulations to all 4 teams making it through to the semi-finals. They're coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the Argentina-Croatia one first.
Give me a second and I'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, it is. I've just seen.
Yeah. Argentina, Croatia, Tuesday at 7, and then France, Morocco, Wednesday at 7.
Can't predict either of them because I've just had enough of predicting in this tournament.
Yeah, so hard to try and do.
But
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Admittedly, though, if we do get a Croatia-Morocco final, I'm not sure how I'm going to react.
It's just meh.
It's like, oh my god, the 2 underdogs both got through, but it's like, oh, oh, hang on.
Yeah. It's a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, which it's understandable. Like, if you want the pizzazz of the two best teams, you want Argentina, France to go through.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm still here for Argentina, Morocco all day long.
Go Croatia, France.
No. See, that's actually the one I really don't want. It happened, didn't it? And it was 4-2, but I don't remember anything of it. I think maybe that was just because it was England who got knocked out in the semis, and it was heartbreaking that we were one step from it, and we should have got to that final. That's probably why I didn't really care.
I don't remember much of that final either.
Like, if we're gonna have a final, Argentina have got to get there.
Yeah, definitely have to get.
This is Messi's. If it can't be Morocco, Messi has to win it.
And that is a perfect ending to the World Cup talk. Like I said, now our attention is slowly fading back towards club football because this time next week we'll be gearing up for the final of the World Cup. There's now going to be more days.
Today, next week.
Yeah. There's now going to be more days of the week with no football on than there is with football on in terms of the World Cup action.
Do you know what I could do with a week breaker? Maybe that's just me, but yeah. I don't know. I feel burnt out.
Is this the latest thing you're feeling? Today I feel burnout.
Oh God. Ended
Yeah,
it.
we'll be back later on the week to recap both semi-finals and to have a look ahead to the final. Until then, make sure you follow us on Twitter @FTCPod for all the latest on the World Cup, and that you are subscribed to us wherever you get your podcasts from, and follow us on YouTube as well. And until then, we'll see you soon.
See ya.